Hello everyone and welcome back to a brand new video and welcome back to round 2 of our F123 Lancia Martini Racing career mode. Today we're back here for the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix. If you missed out on the video that went live yesterday, I would highly recommend going back and checking it out. But I just want to say a massive thank you to all of you for the insane support so far on this series. F123, my team is back and I'm so excited to be jumping into it. Of course, championship-wise, Max Verstappen leading the way there after an opening Grand Prix victory. George Russell and Fernando Alonso joining him on the podium. It was a rough and interesting first weekend for Lancia. We're still down in 11th place over on the Constructors, but we all know Jeddah is a fantastic place to try and score some points. Obviously, against the 110 AI, let's do this thing. Well, as is always the way with an F123 career mode, Bahrain is always kind of quite a harsh wake-up call to kickstart the year. As mentioned, it's one of the AI's best tracks inside the F1 game. Jeddah is certainly one of their weakest, on the other hand, and it's great now because now you guys can't go, well, up the AI for Jeddah, because I can't anymore. Obviously rocking that 110, so hopefully this weekend, obviously we can once again show, you know, our pace, our consistency, and of course the fact we were able to hang on to the rest of the back markers in Bahrain was quite a good omen there as we make our way through the first sector. Of course, early on as well, we're just trying to gather up as many R&D as we can early on this season. I still think it's absolutely ridiculous that this place is classified as having, what, 27 corners, when more than half of them, I think, are flat out. It does make it very easy to earn R&D points, though, so I'm not going to complain too much here in free practice. And yeah, Lancia's first weekend here on the Jeddah Corniche, obviously a very scary circuit. Well, I think that's going to be a purple score to start us off. Well, there we go then. Just like we saw in Bahrain, this car eats tyres for breakfast. Not even going to achieve a delta on the tyre wear run, but we'll keep going and we'll move into qualifying. Well, I don't believe in the world of Formula 1 there is a challenge more scary than taking on a lap here around the Jeddah Corniche, except for maybe going into a wheel-to-wheel battle with Max Verstappen. But yeah, heading though straight into Q1, hoping, you know, there's often a slim possibility you can try and sneak a Q2 out of it, but not really sure this track suits our car all too well. And that's not going to help us out either. They're desperate to avoid, of course, the lethal curb at the end of the S's, but just running a little bit wide through the next corner. That's going to be our first lap out the door. Well, trying to think ahead towards the race then. And my goal early on this season is actually to drag a set of the soft compound tyres into race day Sunday as often as possible there. So only doing 2 runs in Q1. My thought process is if we get like a late red flag or something in a Grand Prix, then I want to be able to utilise those soft tyres and maybe make up some places. So qualifying now has effectively become one shot, and we have got to try and make sure that we nail it. Well, building up more and more confidence in the car as we go around this lap, finally able to nail that first sector here, but see Richard Verschoor currently down in P19. Right, just for the black box, but we're 6 tenths up. Come on, this might actually be a really good opportunity here to see us into Q2 for the first time this season as we round our way in towards the final corner of Q1. Be really happy if we saw the car into Q2, just nudge the wall on the outside of the hairpin, but around in the final corner, up towards the start-finish line. What is the time going to be on the board? It's going to be a 1 minute 27:28.1. I think that might be P17. P18 in the end. I thought we might just have done it. Well, there we go then. Carlos Sainz setting the pace here in Q1, but we go one better than we did last weekend then with a P18 start. Just behind Lance Stroll there, and only a 10th out of making it into Q2 there. But once again, Richard Verschoor seemingly up to pace as well, which is always good to see. But yeah, starting towards the back of the field once again. Alex Albon there, running up in P12 as well. Definitely a shout out to him at the end of qualifying. But let's do it then, Saudi Arabian Grand Prix.
Welcome to one of the fastest races in the entire calendar, and while it's one of the newer races on the F1 World Tour, it's already staked its reputation as a fan favourite. It's Jeddah, and it's the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix. So let's take a look at the topographical map of the Jeddah street circuit. As you can see, a number of challenging corners for the drivers to master here. We'll see just how much the teams have benefited from their time spent in practice this weekend. And like many street circuits, this track has the potential to punish drivers that get it wrong. Let's hope we avoid any safety cars today. So with the race not far away from starting, here's what today's grid rundown looks like. Sergio Perez will lead us away from pole position, and Max Verstappen lines up alongside. As we continue through the rest of the grid today, we have Leclerc, Hamilton, Sainz, Russell, Norris, Oscar Piastri, Fernando Alonso, Gasly, Ocon, Bottas, Albon, Magnussen, Tsunoda, Ricciardo, Stroll, Firestarter, Hulkenberg, Joe, Richard Verschoor and Logan Sargent. Now it's almost time for lights out, so let's go down to the track.
Right, well here we are then. Trackside for the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix, and Sergio Perez, they're just able to sneak under the 1:26 26s at the end of qualifying, so he will start from pole position here and look to better his reigning world champion teammate in Max Verstappen. Medium to hard, I think, is going to be the way to go on tyre strategy today, but hopefully we can keep it clean and tidy through the first couple of corners. That, as always, is the ultimate goal. And it seems like the Lancia car has picked up a little bit of a fluorescent glow tonight, but 5 red lights here in Jeddah. And it's going to be lights out, and away we go. Actually, a pretty good launch there, as Alex Albon's gone nowhere this time round. As we head down in towards the first corner, we're going to find an avenue down around the outside there. And look at that, straight up into P12 of the Grand Prix we go. Bottas just able to cut me off on the exit of the corner there, as Kevin Magnussen will say thank you very much. Obviously had a lot of battles last weekend with him, but up to P13 then is still a miraculous start here in Jeddah. Looks like both Red Bulls at the front of the field have been able to get away, but just winding our way through these S's on the opening lap. Of course, got to try and get temperature into the tyres. And I think Charles Leclerc has actually split the Red Bulls at the front of the field there. Esteban Ocon trying to have a look back down the inside of myself. So was it already some very early heroics here as we struggle to get temperature into the tyres? We had the same thing last weekend in Bahrain as well, whether it's just temperature or confidence or what, but immediately after all those heroics into turn 1, just starting to lose a couple of places here, so we'll try and make sure we hang to the coattails of the Frenchmen. But Yuki and Ricciardo still right behind me as well. Those AlphaTauri cars, of course, we saw them struggle in real life, but here comes Yuki Tsunoda. Around the outside he goes in that gorgeous red and black paint scheme there. Really do quite weirdly love that car in this game there. Of course, maybe potential new title sponsor down at AlphaTauri next year. Ricciardo trying to look for a move as well. There's Verstappen actually has made his way up to the lead of the Grand Prix. Ricciardo having a look down around my outside as well. And after all of our heroics, we've only gained 2 places by the end of lap 1. Let's go take a look at what happened at the start of the front runners. Well, let's have a look then at this start from Sergio Perez's point of view. You can see he's on a set of the soft compound tyres and just hits the anti-stall by the looks of it. Verstappen will say thank you very much then as we head down in towards turn 1 there. Charles Leclerc will also be able to get a look in from P3 on the grid. And yeah, Sergio Perez, you'd expect him to get the better getaway there. And yeah, Charles Leclerc on the exit as well, just having the confidence to go right around the outside of the Mexican then. So a nightmare for Sergio Perez here on a weekend where he needed to get that better getaway. It must have been why Red Bull put him on the softs. He's gone and absolutely thrown it away before turn 1. Alex Albon then, the other culprit of a bad start here in Jeddah. 5 red lights, plenty of revs as well. And you just see, yeah, he definitely hits the anti-stall there. Tries to get out of the way of a couple of cars where he can. Actually blocks, I think that's Lance Stroll on the run in towards turn 1 there. But yeah, the Williams car, a mega getaway in qualifying. Of course, you know this track's going to be strong for them because of the low downforce, but Albon not able to capitalise in a similar fashion to Sergio. As we pick up the action then, Zhou Guanyu now trying to get a run on me, and it looks like the AI early on here, just able to use so much more speed. Alex Albon, of course, a nightmare start for him down in P18 there, so he's the only car I think that we've been able to overtake off the start. I suppose Lance Stroll as well, dropping back in that Aston Martin Honda as his teammate up there in the points. But yeah, we've got to be really, really strategic with the DRS tonight around this venue as we make our way out of the final corner. They're still duking it out at the front of the field. We've got a gaggle of 4 cars that are broken free from the rest. But we're kind of focusing on our own race at the moment, sort of seeing what we can do and waiting for Stroll to send it somewhere. No! No! I clipped the curbing. That'll be Alex Albon making his way through. That was awfully scary as we start lap 4, but looks like this train of cars in front of me, Magnussen now, whoa, at the head of it, as Lance Stroll thought about a move down at the bank turn 12. Yeah, I think this extends all the way up to the point, so we've got to make sure that we stay in the range of Alex Albon here, because, I mean, it's still very, very early doors, but, oi, come on, don't overstep the car. Get a bit of a wobble there. Lance Stroll now trying to eye up a move, but we should be able to keep him at bay with the DRS. Oh, there goes Lance, though. That Aston Martin is just such a quick car. So make our way down in towards the final corner. Oh, we've ran wide as well. We're going to get tagged. No, Nico Hülkenberg has just rammed me through the final corner there. And we picked up front wing damage. Hulk into the pits. We're going to have to join him and go for an early box then onto the hard compound tyres there. But what was Hülkenberg doing? We're riding on board then Richard Verschoor down at the end of lap 4 here. He's going to have a look down the inside of Nico Hülkenberg. You can see we just run a little bit wide there. And 3 into 1 does not go. You can just see on my POV, we just get turned around there. Let's have a look from Nico's point of view. See whether we have any sympathy for him. And I'll be honest, I think he probably should have backed out of it as we make our way down towards the final corner. He's got 1 car on the inside there. And yeah, at that moment, Hülkenberg, I think he kind of half backed out of it, but it's just a tiny bit of contact that sends me round, and he doesn't even lift off in the second phase then when he puts me in the wall again. But a nightmare start here in Jeddah. We have got a lot of work to do. Well, 3 into 1 was never going to go into the hairpin there, and yeah, we have now really on the back foot today, hoping for a safety car or something like that. But yeah, as we make our way down the pit lane exit, we're going to be ahead of Hulk, who's decided to go onto softs. Oh, they haven't changed the wing. They haven't changed the wing, have they? Why would they not change the wing? Come on, team. We can't be making those sorts of mistakes early on. Have I got another set of the hards? No. I have to go mediums again. Why didn't they change the wing?
Hey, focus. We need to stay on form.
Oh, we can't really do a lot at the moment. Marcus Nico Hülkenberg's going to sail around my outside. Yeah, not too sure what their game plan is going back onto a set of soft compound tyres. I was aiming to go to the end on this set of the hards, but when, yeah, you've got a badly damaged front wing, I mean, you can already see how much time we're losing to Hülkenberg in front. Surely you would assume that the team would change it. Into the pits then for the second time in 2 laps. And Lancia, this is the kind of nightmare we did not need at the start of the season. We're going to be about a minute away from our teammate here, and, well, complete and utter miscommunication between myself and the team there. You know, I thought diving in suddenly, you would have thought they would have brought out a front wing for us, but now they're finally going to do it. Get the old wing off the car, bolt on the new one. You can see a big chunk taken out of it. So, yeah, I mean, just got put in the wall by Hulk. So frustrating, but we got to just pray now for a safety car or something like that. That's going to be the only real opportunity we have to get back into this. But I think, to be honest, you know, we've got to try and look at the positives here. Effectively now, this is just a test session for the car and the team. We might still be able to beat Logan Sargent if things run smoothly right to the very end there. We do still seem to be quicker than the Williams, but yeah, of course, just holding out hope for a safety car or a red flag or something like that before this race is over. But like I said, gives us a good opportunity to just try and learn the car and learn some sort of nuances about it as well. Still very early doors this series, and this is the kind of luck you can expect from time to time. Sergio Perez then one of the first drivers to blink and onto a set of the mediums. You can still see there he's close to a minute ahead of me. After that, just how much time we've gone and lost. I think my other goal as well today is trying not to get lapped. Well, Richard Verschoor then doesn't seem to be having a particularly fun time of it at the moment. About 5 seconds back behind Yuki Tsunoda, who I would imagine was still in that big gaggle of cars duking it out for the final points paying position. Probably one of the good things about Lance Stroll being so bad inside F123 and just generally. That's a radio message that hurts. But yeah, with Stroll doing so badly, you've kind of got a lot of cars actually that can fight for the final point. Obviously because you get both Mercs, Ferraris, Red Bulls, McLarens and Alonso that claim it. There we go. Sargent back into the pit lane then, so maybe we won't be last, albeit for a short period in this Grand Prix. Guessing he's going to try and go mediums to the end of the afternoon, but I'd love just not to be running in P22, even if it's just for a short period here. Don't know whether the softs are going to get to the end or not, but we'll wait and see what we can do. Oh, we're not even ahead of him. We're not even ahead of Logan Sargent there, as he's had to pit again in this Grand Prix. I think, yeah, unless we get a safety car or something like that, we're probably going to box again for a set of softs late on in the day. But this might be confined to a 22nd place finish. Oh, yellows. Someone's going slowly. Come on, safety car, safety car, safety car. Would be really, really useful at this stage of the day. I think that is Alex Albon breaking down then this afternoon. Come on, give us a safety car, Alex. You know you want to. Alex Albon out of the Grand Prix. Yeah, oh, no, virtual. That's annoying. I mean, we can box. We can put on a fresh set of the tyres, but that is so annoying. Riding then with Alex Albon as we start lap 15 of the Grand Prix, and the engine is just going to cut out on the Williams there. I think he tries to stay out the way in towards turn 1 and actually slaps the wall, and that means one of the Alpha Towers, or I think that's Yuki Tsunoda, just gets caught out a little bit by it. He's going to make his way through as Stroll again is going to get caught out behind the Williams car for the second time today, but Mercedes power, second failure of the season on a weekend where Albon thought he might have a good chance. It is all over.
Okay, VSC we're going green. Maintain positive delta until the green flags.
Virtual safety car coming to an end. Luckily we just get out of pit lane.
We're delighted with that. Okay, stay clear of the white line on the exit. We'll receive a penalty for dangerous driving if you cross onto the track.
There is the stricken Williams.
Officials aren't looking to push for a safety car right now. Just be careful.
And yeah, we're back to 30 seconds then behind Logan Sargent. That gap will come down because obviously the delta. But yeah, I mean, Perez is not far behind me. We might still end up getting lapped here as well.
Blue flag, blue flag.
No, it's the words I was dreading hearing late on in the day, but yeah, I think we're about to get lapped. I think it's Sergio Perez, though. It's actually got the jump on Max Verstappen through the pit window, but yeah, that white Red Bull then is going to come past me. It does mean we have one less lap to do today. Obviously going to reduce the mileage on the car, so we'll just try and stay out of the way then of Sergio as we make our way back in towards turn 1 then. But yeah, Checo Perez looking like he's going to win this race just like he did in real life there, as Verstappen, I think, is still closing in on him. But will he have enough time there? Only 4 laps to go for the AI. I mean, we may as well let Max Verstappen by rather strategically for our own benefit and try to claim some DRS off him. Head down in... Oh, no, I've messed that up. Oh, I've messed that up royally. I think we'll still get the DRS off of the Dutchman off the corner, but we've gone and thrown away a good 2-3 seconds to Logan Sargent in the process. How long can we stay in the DRS? Well, I've decided we may as well try and see if we can walk away with any positives from this Grand Prix, so I'm going to try and go for a glory run right at the end of this GP there. I've saved up a little bit of battery. We're going to bolt on another fresh set of the soft compound tyres and just see if on the final lap we can take fastest lap away. It's going to mean on the results it's going to look even worse for us, but we're going to be down in last. I was so worried then I was going to pick up a penalty, but we got away with it. Yeah, we're going to be last anyway. We're going to be last by like a minute by the looks of things. I just need to make sure we actually come out in some clear traffic. As I mean, yeah, Richard Verschoor though still is hanging on ahead of Lance Stroll in this Grand Prix, so he's doing tremendously well, all things considered. That Aston Martin is a much, much quicker car than our own. But yeah, looks like we're going to come out actually racing with the Alpines of Gasly and Ocon. Hopefully we're going to be able to try and get out of those blue flags ASAP. Esteban Ocon is hopefully going to do me a bit of a favour as well then, and provide me with some DRS down in towards turn 1, but Checo Perez onto the final lap then of the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix. Verstappen has not given up his assault just yet, but I don't think it's going to amount to much as we're going to slipstream our way past Esteban back into turn 1, similar to what he did to Verstappen in Brazil, obviously all those years ago. Luckily we haven't taken him out in the process, but let's just keep pushing them on this final lap. I think we need like a 29.4 or something like that if we want to take fastest lap away. So we need to find a fair old chunk of time from my previous run, but I'll wait and see what we can do then. As something flashing up on the indicator there. I was too busy trying to navigate our way through the S's to really notice what it was. But purple through the first sector, that's a good place to start. Sergio Perez then down in towards the final couple of corners of the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix. It was a bit of a rough opener in Bahrain there. Just got the strategy wrong. Did Red Bull on that second car. But here in Jeddah, it's a track that he's always said he enjoys. It's a street circuit, so we always know what Sergio Perez is capable of. Out of the final corner, Checo Perez will win the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix. Max Verstappen will be hot on his heels, though, for P2 then, so the Dutchman will still lead the way in the championship. Ferrari bagging a podium, all things considered as well, so I think they can be pretty happy with that. Their first podium of the campaign. But round in the final corner, will we get the glory run? Will we be able to take fastest lap in just our second ever Formula 1 Grand Prix? We're running out of battery up towards the line. 28.8. I think we've done it.
They've delivered an outstanding performance today and under intense pressure to take a well-earned victory at the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix. Well, Anthony Davidson, a resounding victory today, but what set them apart from the rest?
Well, time management probably played quite a large role in the outcome of this one. As ever, it's not just about speed, it's all about maintaining that speed consistently over a stint, over a race distance. So being able to keep up the lap times while still being smooth on the controls and gentle on the tyres, that's really where the race was won today.
Red Bull are our winners today after showcasing some incredible driving. There's been a huge push from them lately to stay competitive with the other teams, and they're certainly proving themselves. Let's have a look then at the driver's standings. This result then narrows the gap between our championship leader and the rest of the standings. So, Anthony Davidson, who would you rank as your driver of the day?
Well, there was a lot of incredible driving out there today, but if I had to pick someone, it's got to be Sergio Perez. Fantastic driving.
It's time to see how things are shaping up in the Constructors' Championship. And pulling further ahead in the standings, it's Red Bull. There was also a strong showing from the Mercedes team today, as they make their way up the standings. Well, what an end to another fantastic weekend of racing. Thanks to everyone who joined us, and we'll see you for the next one.
Well, there we are then. Sergio Perez, Grand Prix winner here in Jeddah once again, then takes the dub ahead of Max Verstappen by just 1.2 seconds come the checkered flag there. Ferrari 3 and 4, Carlos Sainz, like we said, picking up the team's first podium there, beating out both Mercedes there, and Oscar Piastri actually getting the better of Lando Norris this weekend. P7 against his teammates P9 there, with Ocon our final point scorer. But yeah, shout outs to Richard Verschoor there. He wasn't even running in P17. He was actually all the way up in P14 come the checkered flag there. So very, very happy to see him able to fight there with some of the other cars. And, well, less than 10 seconds off the points certainly shows that this thing has got some pace when the luck is on our side there. We did take fastest lap, though, but a four-stop strategy definitely was not the way to go, all things considered. But thank you all so much for watching this video. If you have enjoyed, please do make sure you leave a like, get yourself subscribed, and we'll be back very, very soon when Formula 1 heads to Australia, we'll be back with more of the Lancia career mode. A massive thank you to all of my YouTube members and my Patreon supporters for their continued donations to help my work. These things go much further than I think a lot of you ever realise and allow me to continue making content full-time here on YouTube. So if you want to support me from as little as £1 a month and be featured on all of these end clips, either click the join button next to the subscribe or head over to my Patreon. There's a link down in the description.